Why hello there everyone! So, as has become a pattern on my channel, I held a poll in my community tab yet again, but this time asking what story you guys wanted me to tell before closing out April. I know this is a little late, and I am sorry. It was a close choice, but you guys voted on the closest I've come to dying in my main group. Or, why I hate Bodax with the white hot fury of a 9th level fireball. But before we get into that, on April 4th at 2 p.m, Jocat and myself will be holding a charity live stream for the Bards for Bards project. Bards for Bards is a charity project and art challenge to raise money for the Artist Relief Tree, a charity organization founded to help performing artists affected by COVID-19 shutdowns. While myself and Jocat will be drawing bards you voted on, I extend the challenge to you. Give us your best bards on Twitter with the hashtag #BardsForBards. More information can be found in the description below or in the iCard in the top right. And don't forget to tune in on April 4th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard for the Bards for Bards charity livestream. Okay, so this takes place not long after Power Gamer left our group. We ended up losing another player for scheduling reasons, so we welcomed 2 new players. This is also before we ended up rebooting our entire campaign and before some of us switched characters. So, to paint the party, we have Gladier, the Dragonborn Paladin, Aldrich, the Human Cleric, Aaron, the Goliath Rogue, Giles, the Gnome Artificer, Joy, the Half-Elven Bard, and my character, Nia, the Elven Sorcerer. So to catch you up on why we ended up encountering a Bodak, we had shipwrecked and washed up onto the country of Uridal, a country that has been overtaken by a strange mist that drives you insane. We found a town on the edge of the mist and had at some point been attacked by our own shadows. It was in this attack that Gladier lost his shadow, and we later find out that if you don't reclaim your shadow, you are consumed by the mist and driven mad. So we went on a hunt. So you all remember Aldrich from the Power Gamer story, right? Our creepy death cleric? Well, surprise, surprise, he's from Uridal. He could explain some things about the mist, but much of it we kind of just had to figure out on our own and from what the townspeople knew. We did eventually find a massive hollowed out dead tree, and underneath it a secret tunnel. We all descend, spellcasters casting light so we can all see, and find ourselves walking down a long hallway with just random stuff everywhere. Bricks, loose boards, luggage cases, clothes. And then we see a sign broken on the ground. It read, "The Adelaide." This was the ship we were on before we crashed. Whatever was down here was scavenging the beaches. We went forward with caution, not wanting to be ambushed, especially after finding the sign. Eventually we make it to a large chamber with piled boxes everywhere and a 4-post bed on the far side. We start investigating before we're attacked by shadows again. We quickly found Gladier's shadow. He is an 8-foot tall dragonborn with only 1 arm. It's really not that hard to spot. And soon we killed it and granted Gladier his shadow back. But it didn't stop there. So throughout combat, I ended up towards the far side of this room, not too far from the bed, when my DM starts saying how Nia feels a sudden chill, colder than ice, and she starts taking damage, 5 necrotic damage. And then something catches her attention. There's a figure sitting on the bed, wrapped in tattered clothes with a hideous face, staring at us. And it's here we find out it's a Bodak. Bodaks are what's left of a humanoid after being destroyed by pure evil, and one can assume this one most likely came to be here because of the mist. And I'm taking damage because of the Bodak's Aura of Annihilation, which deals 5 necrotic damage to each creature within 30 feet of it. But it gets worse. As soon as Nia sees it, my DM makes me roll a Constitution save, and I fail. I immediately take 3d10 psychic damage, and that, combined with the 5 points I had already taken, knocks me unconscious. So in the next round, when it comes to our paladin's turn, Gladier, who just saw his friend drop unconscious from this thing, gets pissed, runs in, slaps 20 points of lay on hands into Nia, and rushes to engage the Bodak. Well, I was next in our initiative order, so I start the round already taking 5 damage from being in the aura and still not having connected that looking at the Bodak equals death. Fire a magic missile. It hits, does damage, then roll a Constitution save. I rolled a 1. So normally when you fail this monster save, you just take 3d10, but if you fail by 5 or more, you are instantly dropped to 0. So, in the span of 1 round, I went down, got up, and went down again. Eventually, our Goliath rogue, Aaron, scooped Nia up and took her out of the aura, and our artificer's familiar, Puff, got her up again. We ended up killing the Bodak, and it wasn't long after we held this session that we rebooted the campaign entirely. Thank you so much for watching. I know this one was a bit late, so I do apologize, and thank you to all of my patrons. You guys really make this possible for me, so thank you. And don't forget on April 4th to come to the Bards for Bards charity livestream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. It's going to be both here on my channel and over on Jocat's Twitch. So please, come hang out and draw some bards with us.